Fortunately, I had fences, so it was never reported to the police.
It's the Mahatma Show.
Oh, hello, blah, blah, blah. Episode 26, blah, blah, blah. I loved Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea as a kid. I discovered it when I was about 10, and as a result, I wanted to grow up to be a marine biologist. This was because of Admiral Nelson, the main character of the show, who was a marine biologist. And he was kind of everything I wanted to be in life. He was sort of short, he was kind of doughy, he was cranky as hell, he was in his 50s. You know, apart from the red hair, I pretty much accomplished all that because I was impressionable. And when I was in high school, I saw that I had the option to take marine biology as an elective. Cool. Something I've always wanted to learn more about, something I'm interested in, get my GPA up, swell. So I took marine biology. My teacher's name was Mrs. Whetstone, which is actually a pretty cool name. Because we were sarcastic kids, we immediately changed our name to Mrs. Dryrock. And we changed the name of the class from marine biology to Moron biology. My experiences in marine biology turned out to be rather disappointing because the class required a hell of a lot of work, and it involved a lot of laborious time looking up the binomial nomenclature for various different kinds of kelp and seaweed, plankton, and various critters, and lengthy trips to the beach where we had to find samples of specific kinds of seagrass and press them in books and find little anemone kind of flowery things. Actually, I don't know what they were. They definitely weren't anemones. And press them in books and then put them on our little 3x5 index cards and keep them in our file, which we had to keep with us at all times. So we were doing that kind of stuff all day long, and there was absolutely no attention paid whatsoever to fighting giant underwater robots or, you know, fending off alien invasions or Cold War intrigue. You know, science. What the hell? There was none of that in it at all. I mean, what the hell is marine biology if you're not fighting a 60-foot tall giant sea monster? What the hell? And at no point in the class did we ever discuss how to get a hold of your own nuclear submarine. Admiral Nelson owned his own nuclear submarine. That was very, very clear in the show. He had a 600-foot-long multi-deck nuclear submarine with nuclear missiles in it. He owned it. How the hell that happened, I don't know. And I never learned how to do that in school. Thank you very much, State of Florida subpar educational system. How the hell is a kid supposed to be a marine biologist if you don't tell him how to get his own damn submarine? So after a semester of that, I said, screw it, this is no fun, this is hard work, I don't want to be a marine biologist anymore. I'm going back to wanting to be an astronaut. Which turned out about as well as you would expect. So, you know, nowadays I want to be a cowboy. Much later on in life, after I got married, I did actually try to build my own submarine from scratch once in the backyard. And there was nobody there to tell me to not. My wife was out of town on work for an extended period of time, and I had another one of my episodes. And I got obsessed with making this thing out of stuff in the garage. After a few hours of trying to wrestle pipes together and discovering that I had no fiberglass to coat the thing with, whereas I figured that I would need at least some, and a complete and total absence of little blinky idiot lights like you see on all science fiction shows from the 60s, I gave up on that and decided to dig a hole to see how deep the water table was. Turns out a lot deeper than you would think living close to the river. So the hole got down to about 6 or 7 feet, because I'm actually a pretty good digger. Then it occurred to me that it would be interesting to see how long it would take for my shoes to burn. So I took my shoes off, and I set them on fire and dropped them down in the hole, and they kept going out. So I had to go down in the hole, fish them out, set them on fire again, drop them back in. And that did not work great. I couldn't figure out why, because as stated, I was having one of my episodes and didn't realize that there was no cross draft down there to keep them going. And so ultimately I gave up on that and just ran around the backyard naked for a while, then went in and keeled over. This is why my wife doesn't really take a lot of long, business trips anymore. Still, I can't help thinking that if I had a better high school education with regards to marine biology, that whole shameful incident wouldn't have happened. Fortunately, I had fences, so it was never reported to the police. So about 8 years ago, I'm going through piles of office supply stuff, and I see an index card file, and I think, oh, cool, I need one of those. So I grab it, put it on a shelf, and I forget about it for a couple of years because it turns out I don't really need an index card catalog. Nobody does. Years after that, my wife needed one for her own office at work, and I knew that I had one on the shelf, so I grabbed it, and I opened it up, and lo and behold, inside were dozens and dozens of 3x5 index cards with my chicken scratch listing the kingdom, phylum, order, genus, species of these various plants, and actual dried clippings, still glued to the pages, all every bit as useless as the day I made them. So I debated what to do with those quite a bit because, on the one hand, useless, I should throw them out. On the other hand, though, they survived for 25 years, if something manages to survive that long, even if it's worthless, it almost feels like it has a right to survive. Should I just put these back on the shelf as a testament to who I was as a wild-eyed high school senior with friends with names like Munch and Fudge Lips and a guy whose first name was only one letter? Or, it seemed like, nah, the hell with it, I'm just throwing it out. I don't need this crap. I got enough junk around the house already. Welcome to my cluttered office. I am shilling my book, The Best of Randall Shawns, which is my most popular short stories as selected by my readers in a poll. Here's a review that somebody gave, 5 out of 5 stars, from someone named B. Bartow. It says, discovering Shawns was an unexpected treat. Link below. Please check them out. Thank you. Oh God, no!